Hi, everyone. So, a few people have been messaging me, tweeting me, sending me messages on Facebook asking me what I've been doing with my time, wondering what I've been up to. And the answer really is none of your business. But I thought that for the fuck of it, I would talk a little bit today about what I've been up to since I've gone on hiatus with my YouTube videos with A Dose of Buckley. And I'm not saying that I am quitting A Dose of Buckley yet, still not doing that. Lots of TV shows go on hiatus for some time, and I think I've only really been off for about 5 months now. So, but this is essentially how I've been spending the bulk of my time here. And so what you're seeing is, if you don't know what I look like, I'm the guy second from the left there, throwing axes. So I've been into axe throwing lately, and the footage that you're seeing here today, not going to be super exciting in that there's not actual competition going on here. There isn't a way, but I'll discuss that as we go here, as I talk to you a little bit about the sport of axe throwing, as well as what's actually happening here. So what I'm doing, me and these three other gentlemen are throwing for the NATC, that's the National Axe Throwing Championship, round 1. So all of us had qualified through different means. I've only been doing this now for about 6 months, and the way I had to qualify was through a wild card tournament, which essentially was like a last-ditch effort to get in. All these other guys had managed to qualify by earning what they call champs points through various leagues, and but I just didn't play in enough leagues in order to do that. So I had to qualify through a different way. So what this is the gateway to what they call round 2, which is the actual tournament in Toronto coming up in February. And so you're seeing me back and forth throwing bullseyes. I don't know if... yeah, there's me throwing one low, I think. Yeah, that was a 3. And so that was my only 3 on the whole day here. And you're going to see me throwing about, 45 axes, actually. So here's how this worked. For round 1, what everyone has to do is you have to put up, you have to throw 45 axes. This is the simplified version. And your average score determines whether or not you get in based on the averages of about, I think, 350 people that actually threw the same day at the same time, pretty much throughout different cities and even different countries. So the way this works, the way axe throwing works, or at least in the NATF, the National Axe Throwing Federation, is the middle circle there. The bullseye, of course, is worth 5 points. The ring after that is worth 3 points, and the outer ring is worth 1 point. Those green dots that you're seeing at the top of the board aren't really coming into play here because everyone's playing it very safe, but they're called the clutch. And so they're worth 7 points, and they're active basically at every 5th throw. Now, the way a typical game of axe throwing works is that, say, we're about to finish up here, I think, but say the guy in the orange shirt there and I were actually competing against each other. We're not here today. We're just throwing to try and, basically we're throwing against ourselves to try and hit our averages. And so what would happen is we would each throw 5 axes, and the highest score would win that game. You have to win 2 out of 3 games to win a match. So the way it would work is you play 3 games. You play. Whoever gets whoever wins 2 of them wins. If you have a tie, it goes to big axes, where we pull out basically a full-size axe and throw from a little further away, and you then determine, you go to sudden death, essentially. So whoever gets the highest points on any one throw will then win the total match. In a league, we play 28 matches throughout 7 weeks. Then we go to playoffs in the 8th week, and that determines the champion for that particular league. So unfortunately, I have not won a league championship just yet. All 3 of these other guys have. I don't know if they want me saying their names on here, but whatever. So you've got, I think the guy, I'm going to botch this now. I'm going to feel like such a fucking asshole. But anyway, the guy on the far left right now, that's Jeremy. Second from the left there, that is Dirty. That's Dave. And then there's, of course, myself there in the white and the black shirt with the white battle logo. And then Jacob there over on the far right. So, as you can probably see, I'm just continuously hitting bullseyes. That's me. I just had a close one there. The way it works, too, is it's the total amount of the axe is what has to be, or the most amount of the axe has to be in there to count, right? So if the axe blade is about 4 inches, if 2 inches and millimeter are in that circle, then it counts as a bullseye. If 2 inches and 1 millimeter are outside of that circle, then it would have counted as a 3. So that's essentially how that works. But it's just going to be more of us throwing, and pretty much, I don't know if I'm the only one in this group that had actually thrown a 3, and I think everyone else threw 5s, but I'm not 100% sure. But basically, what ended up happening is, so I'm throwing another 15 axes here, and then I'm going to move again to throw my final grouping of 15 axes. Each of those counts for your total points. So I threw in the first round a 73 because of that 1-3. In the second round of it, which is going on right now, I ended up throwing a 75. And then, spoiler alert, in the third round, I threw another 75. And then we go to the big axes, which you won't be able to really see that well. But I don't know if I'm going to even show this whole thing or not. But yeah, this is basically what I've been up to. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm apparently cleaning some shit off my axe. Probably wood. That would make the most sense, right? Oh, it looks like I finished up my my second round. So we're going to move over. And it looks like the scorekeeper there has just told me that I'm... Yep, there we go. That I'm on the far left this time. And Dirty is going to have to throw on the second from the left board there. Moving left to right. Then we got Jacob and Jeremy. So then they're going to start throwing again. I don't know what the fuck we're doing, just shooting the shit. There's me laughing about something. I don't know what the fuck. And then we're going to throw some more axes. Yep, so that's the axeman's handshake you just saw there, where Dirty and I touched axes. Basically, it's a sign of sportsmanship and basically saying good luck to your opponent. Again, in this case, we're not actually facing each other in a match, but just trying to qualify. So I guess I don't know if I've actually said, but I did qualify. So I ended up, I don't even know how you put it, but basically in like the top 60 or so of people who threw on this day, out of, again, the 350 or something like that actually qualified to throw. And so I will be going on to actually compete in the National Axe Throwing Championships. I don't know how good my chances really are, but as you can see, I kind of know what I'm doing. You see these axes are all landing in the fucking middle of the board. That I'm not a complete piece of shit at this. So sometimes they get a little stuck, and my shitty little noodle arms have a little difficulty in getting the axe out of there, apparently. But there you go. And I don't know what else I could really tell you about this, other than there are, if you're interested in axe throwing, there are a couple of different organizations. I throw in the NATF, which is these types of boards, and then there's the WATL or Waddle, which actually had their championship air live on ESPN. I don't know if it was live. I think it was live on like ESPN 3 or 6 or 23 or whatever the fuck it was, right? And so they got to have that there, and it's a little bit different. Their boards are, their targets are a little bit different. The bullseye's smaller, but the ruling is that as long as the axe touches the bullseye, then it's worth that many points. And there's a lot of talk now amongst people who throw axes as to whether or not this will become a good spectator sport. And you know, I don't mean to be a dick. I fucking love playing this sport. Don't know how much I would really like to watch it, but at the same time, I think that what's really going to make or break it in that regard is going to be the commentary, right? Like if you ever watch darts, you know, like you're like fucking awake at 2 a.m. or something like that, and you want to watch TV and darts is on, I guess, and I don't know why you're watching it, but like the entertaining part of darts is the fucking guy that's yelling 180, right? Like that guy is the fucking star of darts. I don't know a single darts player, but I don't know that guy's name either, but I know that guy. And you know, at a competitive level, the way darts pretty much works, as I set down my small axe to go get my big one to start throwing some. Again, you're not going to be able to see me too much on the left here. But at a certain competitive level, everyone's going to be perfect pretty much every time, right? And so I just opened mine with a 3 as I talk about how everyone's going to be perfect every time. I am not quite at that level yet, but there's been a lot of people talking about that and like, oh, we got to change rules, got to make it harder because you know, everyone's just perfect all the time. And then I've seen tournaments where people have unauthorized tournaments or whatever, where people will shrink the target just to make it a little more challenging. And those guys still hit consecutive bullseyes consistently and are still hitting the clutch very often, still getting perfect scores. A perfect score in axe throwing right now is an 81, which is 4 bullseyes and a clutch done 3 times in a row in a match. That's a perfect score. So a lot of people are thinking, well, who's going to want to watch this if they're perfect every time? But my opinion on that is that if you look at darts, it's the exact same situation where there are guys who are just constantly throwing 180. That's 3 triple 20s. It's the best score you can get in darts, and they do it consistently over and over. I think I just hit a bullseye there with my big axe, by the way. And so I don't see any real reason. I mean, you make it more difficult, sure, I guess, and then that shuts out some even shittier people and possibly eventually myself, who knows. But I think I would adapt and just get better because I want to, and so I would just get better. It's just how it works. So if that makes any sense. There you go. There's another bullseye for me. And essentially, this is what I've been up to for like the last 6 months. So I think I'm throwing my last couple big axes here. There's another bullseye. I think I hit 3 bullseyes. Yep, there I am. I'm finished up. Gonna grab my little axe there. Shout out to the Cold Steel Company and the Axe Gang, which is my favorite axe, the axe of choice of many competitive throwers, including myself. And so, Cold Steel, send me some free axes. Anyway, I think this is pretty much it. That's me done, so you don't need to see anyone else throw. But thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about this, I'll try and answer them in the comments section.